Good morning.
Good morning.
It's so wonderful to see you all here today. It's an honor, it's a gift to me to see you and be able to speak, not just about a project that's in a faraway land, but something that you have been a part of. And in the brief moments that I have with you today, I hope we can all embrace each other with the certainty and confidence that we are doing great things together. And that is the greatest gift of all. I know many, many people in my life who say, with that certain tone we all hear, I wish I could do something. I wish I could do something. Whatever the social ill or challenge it is, to hear someone say, I wish I could make a difference. Today, I humbly offer you that we are together doing that. And so please take that into your hearts this morning. Trae Holland is my name. I'm executive director of Safe Passage organization. Many of you have visited. So another reason that I feel like I'm among very close friends this morning. And I speak to you from the heart in that way. I want to start by sharing a traditional tale. It hails from the Mayan culture. Those of you who've been to Guatemala know that the indigenous culture of Guatemala is Mayan, goes back 1,000 years plus. The story goes something like this. There was a village, a community, who were under great duress, war, drought, sickness. And the decision was made by the elders of the village to move somewhere else. And there have been stories of a land far away where the rivers were filled with fish, and the trees were filled with fruit. And so the decision was made to take the risk and the courage it would take to uproot your families and move to another land in which you had no knowledge, but only faith. Along the way, there was great suffering, great loss. There was a moment along the journey where they had not eaten for some time, and they came upon a tree that had fruit in it. Okay, so now what? We had warrior after warrior step forward and say, I will be the one. And the strong warrior, vibrant, brave, tries to scale the tree, fails in his attempt and falls to the ground. Another warrior, I can do this. Grabs the tree and starts to climb the tree, and again, it becomes too challenging for him and he falls to the ground. And this happens over and over again. And you see among the members of the community a real sense of sadness and loss and fear. And then steps forward an older woman. She looks around, thinks on it for a moment, goes to the tree and shakes it. Shakes it, and the fruit comes raining down for the village. Now, I share this story with you because it's Mayan, and it's from Guatemala, but I think today, as we ponder and reflect on ourselves as individuals who are committed to service to our communities, there's a lot of lessons to take from that story, but one I would like to share with you for just reflect on it this morning is that service comes from lots of places in the community, and the creativity in our hearts and minds, those of us in the community who try to impart service to others, it doesn't fit in one box. It doesn't look the same. So I just wanted to share that with you this morning. You are aware that we went through some very hard times during COVID. In our 20-year history, I believe there were two moments where our organization faced the utmost existential crisis. A time in which our village had to be creative. The first one, of course, was the tragic loss of our founder and visionary, Henry Denning, in 2007. The community came together and made a determined decision that they would not let this magical organization fail. Right? I would say that the second moment of truth in our history was COVID. We did not see our students for 2 years, 2 whole years. They were not on campus. You can imagine an organization committed to helping those marginalized, those under such duress in that community, the violence, the stress, the lack of nutrition. If we can't see them, we've lost our greatest tool in serving. When those children came back last year, we had them for brief moments during the week. It was both a day of beauty and love and celebration, but also a day of sadness. Our students returned thinner, their teeth had suffered. From a psychological standpoint, a social standpoint, emotional standpoint, they were traumatized even beyond what was the norm for them in a community that already suffers under such weight and hearts. I'm here to let you know that since they returned, we've made steady progress in arresting those deficits It is one of the more rewarding and fantastic realities and experiences of my life, humbly to share with you that a community of activists, yourselves included, are making a difference again. For example, before COVID started, we had worked for years to get our malnutrition rate from the high 30s percentile down to 10 in 2020. The kids came back. You can imagine the malnutrition rate was right back up. So we have work to do, and we're doing it. But this is not the work of one day or 1 year. It's a long-term journey. So whether it be in the area of academic loss, which we've seen in the United States, it's global phenomenon, learning loss. But you can imagine our students were already facing major deficits in normal times. So we have huge obstacles to overcome there, but also in terms of health. We are committed to being strategic, thoughtful, intentional, innovative in terms of how we're going to address their health deficits. And lastly, from a standpoint of emotional duress, those of you who have suffered in your own lives can imagine and can understand that if you are broken, it's hard to build a life, right? So of all the things I think St. Passage does, we create hope, which I realize sounds a little cheesy, sounds like rhetoric, sounds like a cliche, right? But we are proof as an organization and community that hope actually has tangible outcomes. If a person can vision something other than the horrible reality in front of them, that is the first step. And we create that, and we provide the tools, whether it be in the form of food, medicine, or academic support, and build hope and action into a life with dignity. So I just wanted to close today by thanking you again as a community of activists, a community of love. We are all shaping the tree together, and I just want to thank you for this time with me today. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Trae is very humble about the work that they're doing. And I am going to ask for a point of privilege for a moment. This started with trying to help these children in a way that was just to educate them, to have them find that safe place, this young woman. And over time and over years, they now provide dental care. They now provide eye care. They now provide emotional support. The reach that this program has managed to achieve over time is one that I think sometimes in the United States we could learn from right now. It is amazing to me how it is they pay attention to the needs of the children and the family. I was in awe when I was blessed enough to be able to go there. The other part that I found particularly inspiring and that I think is important too, as much as we want to hold up the families and children, we also know that if we can educate and affirm and empower the mothers and the women in the community, that also is life-changing. We know that statistics tell us that over and over again around the world. And that they now have a program that helps the women in this community, some of the mothers of these children, but the women in this community, they're not going in to tell them what to do. They have discerned and helped the women, show them what their gifts are. And they are now encouraging that, and the women are now learning how to be able to support and sustain themselves, how to have emotional and financial health and support. And I want to just hold that up as another part of the ever-growing program, which is Safe Passage. We are blessed to have Trae with us this morning, others of you that have been there, Kai Walterbeek and her family and crew that gathered this morning obviously have been, Kai fell in love with that country many, many years ago. And it is her home away from home. She can correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels like that when you talk to her. And so she has been our prophet here in terms of our cheerleader, but it is really important for her that you all know that it's not her program. Each and every one of you that have contributed, whether it's $1 in a box, or whether it's being able to go on a trip, or whether it's being able to make a dress for some of the girls, each and every one of you are that prophet that we heard about this morning. And it does take a village, you know, and with you, that sounds kind of corny, but you know what, sometimes corny is real. And so, thanks be to God, we have this opportunity this morning to share the story of St. Passage. I encourage you to come to coffee hour. We have created a wonderful spread, so come on down. Thank you, ladies. And all of you that contributed. We also, Kirsten, and with help of people sending photos, we have a whole slideshow of all kinds of trips from the past. Come and enjoy that. Feel free to ask Kai or Trae or any of the others that have been on a trip anything you'd like to ask. Be kind, but please be inquisitive and curious, because once you've been there, you're just dying to tell the story in one way or another.